So, on the most recent episode of Flagrant and Brilliant Idiots, Andrew Schulz decided to speak out against ICE. And I found it interesting that on both podcasts, he opened the conversations with a persuasion tactic which act to get someone sympathetic to your message before they experience it. And everyone was a nut guzzler pretty much the whole episode. Plus, it was good fun to see them all blame Democrats for all of Trump's mistakes. It's crazy. Watch.
And look, I know I had Trump on the podcast, and I'm aware.
Stop explaining that, man.
No, but let me just clarify, because I think it is important to say, like, I know how I had him on the podcast, and when I'm talking out about this, I'm not doing it to get people to be like, oh, he's a good guy or whatever like that, or trying to get anybody on my side. I understand that this is a horrific event that happened. I objectively want to talk about it. I'm not trying to win anybody over in this.
You understand?
First of all, I know we've had Trump on the podcast. I know there's probably people like you guys are the last ones that I want to hear talk about this. I don't think any of us are having this conversation to curry any goodwill or, get people to like us or something like that.
So first of all, it's way too late in the game for Andrew to decide to speak out against ICE and Trump. And it made me sick to listen to him suggest that he wasn't speaking out against ICE to curry favor. If this were true, he wouldn't have said that at all. The only reason he said that is to get people on his side and to make him look like the good guy. It's moral posturing, and it's pathetic. If it only happened on one of the podcasts, I'd let it go, but he does this moral framing on both. And you can't tell me it doesn't all look staged and like it was pre-planned and rehearsed. I have to be honest. In my experience, anyone who says something like, I'm a good person, is not a good person. Just like anyone who says I'm not doing something to curry favor is trying to curry favor. That's been my experience, at least. What reason could Andrew possibly give for why it was necessary to say he's not trying to manipulate while simultaneously saying something manipulative? It's hypocritical. He's only saying anything to appear in good faith and make his fans more receptive to what comes next. Saying he's not trying to curry favor automatically lowers someone's guard and primes them to agree with the statement he says next. I don't believe Andrew for 1 second because he was carefully critical of Trump until his views fell off a cliff. I hope they'll do better, but I don't think they will, frankly. Andrew saying the ICE shooting was so wrong implies everything horrendous Trump did before it wasn't so wrong, and that's not good enough for me personally. What makes everything worse is the boys all dropping pro-MAGA talking points the rest of the pod. They tried to deflect blame to the Democrats at every turn. Just watch.
Because that's not what you wanted. If he came in here and said oh, hey, we're going to forcefully remove all of these illegal immigrants the way that they're doing it, we wouldn't be for that. And it would have been a lot of pushback.
I mean, we specifically pushed back. I specifically told them, I was like, dude, you hired illegals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was taken care of by illegals. Let's have a pathway to citizenship. Let's have some empathy. And he's like, we're going after the criminals. And maybe I naively believed that he would do that. Mm-hmm. But it's very clear, just by the numbers, that that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're using this bullshit of we want to make sure you guys are safe and secure. How is this more safe? Mm-hmm. Tell me how this is more secure.
I don't feel any safer. Walking in any downtown of any city I perform in, it doesn't feel any safer.
Yeah. It bugs me when there's a false dichotomy where people are like, yeah, dude, but you can't just let the borders be completely open. So this has to happen. It's well, there was a time when, people were coming in illegally and then they were deported humanely. And that I think there is a way to do both, right? Yes. Obama deported people that was done with civility and keeping human integrity intact. Whereas this seems like it's intentionally cruel.
Yeah. And intentionally chaotic.
Yeah. I don't know, if someone comes in illegally and they get caught and then they get deported, it's I think most people are GG's.
And they were aware of that risk when they came illegally.
Right. Yeah. And again, I don't want it to happen. I wouldn't want it to happen to my friends. I think 100%. What ICE is doing is awful. But again, it's the cruelty and that cruelty is a feature of the system.
And it seems to be rewarded by the administration.
Right, exactly.
Or at bare minimum defended.
Yeah.
With zero reflection or accountability. I was shocked that they each echoed the exact same sentiment. Not a single one of them was hey, we have to look at the footage. Immediate knee-jerk reaction. It was a group text went out hey, show strength.
That is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
A group signal text went out.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
And that's the most concerning thing to me because we can see in the line of duty shit happens, right?
I don't think the ICE officers are going out, how can we shoot an American citizen today?
Right. I mean, yeah, I think they're going out to intimidate people, but as far as killing goes, I don't know. But as far as the recourse that happens after an event like this, you would hope that there's going to be some type of fair third-party investigation and holding people accountable.
Yeah,
right?
The grossest part of the Trump
that's
statement,
what you want to happen.
That's what you want to happen.
The grossest
we've
part
seen his first administration. He doesn't like being held accountable for anything.
Right.
And I don't think it's any different.
The part that got me in his statement was immediately deflecting to Ilhan Omar and how she has so much money, which is a thing. But like, someone is dead, and then within 2 sentences, you're trying to deflect onto Ilhan Omar being crooked with money, which I do. I think she probably is.
Look
But
into
like,
that too.
Yeah, this ain't the fucking
They
time.
must think we're truly mentally challenged. Who can't see through this grift? They said, let's not make it political, only to immediately start making it political hating on the left. Bringing up Ilhan Omar was laughable and just a sad attempt to deflect because they can't accept how wrong they still are. You all are shills for the Republican Party now, and I know this because you do the classic Republican move where you tuck insults in for the left and you bring up disparaging, unrelated things pretending it's to have a nuanced discussion.
Time in the same statement. You're
But
gonna
just as
deflect
you
to
want
that.
accountability for her, if that is
Yeah.
fucked up or if it is crooked, then we want accountability for this.
Yeah.
And accountability for her is not accountability for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's just horrendous.
And by all accounts, he seemed like a good guy. Like he's literally like like a gun owner. He's like as far as like the American sort of like stereotype goes, like he's working with veterans, a legal gun owner, protesting, doing all the right things.
Probably voted for Trump if we just looking at the facts.
Yeah.
This guy's supporting veterans. He, again, legal gun owner, which in and of itself, usually that's a single issue thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean,
you got no sympathy for one of your own?
Son,
I guess
Trump
regardless-
is taking away your Second Amendment, man.
Yo, you saw them say
Yeah.
that. I think one of them said, I forget who, was like, why would you take a gun to a protest?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've seen this all over the internet, but people are like, where was the same energy with Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah.
Yo, no problem when he took a fucking AK to the protest.
Yep.
So, which I think is an incredibly fair argument.
Trying to sneakily disparage Alex Pretty's character by bringing up a negative lie is sick behavior. Pretending they're just mentioning it, but what they're doing is planting seeds so you'll have it in your head that it was Alex's fault since he brought a gun to a protest.
Fair argument. Yeah, it's
Yeah, even talking to like my conservative friends, it's like, imagine in the future, which this probably wouldn't happen because I just don't see it being a feature of the Democrat Party. But like, imagine 2 cycles from now, you have a Democratic president that's like, hey, we want to make sure every gun owner in America has the right paperwork, all the right registration for their
instead
weapons.
of going after illegals, they're going after gun owners.
But you just want to make sure everyone has the right paperwork. That's
And
all.
they're stopping you in the street. They're like, you look like a gun owner.
And they're sending mass people around to people's houses that have guns. They're like, hey, we just want to make sure you have all your weapons. Is that cool? Da da da. Like, it would be pandemonium. Like, everyone would be like, why are you doing this? And
You'd
I
be
don't,
furious.
This is exactly what Joe Rogan said on his podcast when Shane Gillis tried to call Trump out for changing the plaques at the White House. Joe said that they shouldn't allow it because then the left could do the same thing, as if that is the worry. Oh no, Democrats might actually change the plaques back to the truth. Whatever shall we do? They have been going way off topic or course just to find a way to disparage the left. How weak, how transparent. You all have to act this pathetic now because you're ashamed, and you should be, because your side is that evil and guilty. Wake the F up and walk away from MAGA. For good. That side is rotten to the core.
But he did say, hey, I plan to deport as much people as possible. Like,
I think the argument would be like deporting people that are not legally here in a humane or kind way would be much more digestible than this horrific shit that we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying that those people that are deported couldn't then get legal status at another time. Me personally, I would rather a pathway to citizenship. But if somebody goes, hey, we need a strong border and we should have laws, and if you enter the country illegally, you should be removed and then try to re-enter legally. If somebody said that, I wouldn't go, you're crazy.
Yeah. And Fareed Zakaria, who is a liberal who I think is awesome, came on here and said, yeah, the Democrats gave asylum to too many people. It was just like a very easy excuse to get, and we just let everybody get.
Truly repugnant how Akash just blamed Democrats in a roundabout way for the horrific and unjust murders committed by ICE. I was just waiting for them to find a way to turn it on the other side. Lame.
So again, I don't think what was going on before was good, but what is going on now is so undeniably bad. I don't know if you remember, like 5 years ago, we were talking about police reform during COVID, and I was like, if this was happening to white people, it would get a much different response. And I think Black Lives Matter should highlight the times when there was like police abuse or whatever toward a white person, a U.S. citizen. And I think that's part of why you're seeing so much outrage. And I think that's the one silver lining of this thing is you're seeing abuse to U.S. citizens, white dudes, and it hits people differently when they look like you. That's just what it is.
Wait, are we in the movie A Time to Kill and we're being asked what if she was white? Like, go back to not kissing your wife, Akash. That is the most outdated and flat out wrong explanation. Everyone is not outraged because they were white, you idiot. Again, with the Republican talking points. What ICE did was unconscionable, and that's why people are so angry. Not because we care more when they match our skin tone. I would like to say, I hope they'll do better, but I don't think they will, frankly. Like, I can't even meet them halfway anymore. They are talking points now. Schultz saying the ICE shooting was the final straw implies everything horrendous Trump did. Before it wasn't so wrong, and that's not good enough for me personally. At this point, if Andrew can admit that the Trump administration is corrupt liars who aren't upholding the Constitution, he should also admit that MAGA needs to be stopped. The truth is, Democrats will likely never be a threat to democracy because they believe in objective truth. MAGA Republicans have proven they don't. Even when they see the truth with their own two eyes, most of them are willing to even deceive themselves to follow party lines. To postulate that the risk to democracy could be Democrats taking your guns, even hypothetically, is prime fear-mongering. It creates unsubstantiated fear and stokes the divide between parties. The greatest threat to democracy is already here. It's the pedophile, rampant MAGA Republican Party with their warmongering and authoritarian ways. I can only hope that Flagrant's downfall is swift, as I think it's clear they're full-on grifters for life now. I never thought they would become what they hated, but if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. When your morals are flexible, you will never be at peace, and no amount of money will make the empathy-sized hole in your heart go away. I wish Flagrant had said more. I wish they had spoken up sooner. I wish they hadn't deflected, and I wish I didn't feel different watching them now. Most of all, I wish they had true moral clarity, but you can't replace your soul, and Trump bought theirs. Sleep tight, boys. Subscribe if you like to overanalyze Andrew, and let me know in the comments if you are also skeptical of how sincere Andrew and the boys were being.